This year's been full of massive change, and one of the things I've found is that we're becoming kind of more of a collective. There's a lot more people going through similar experiences than I would normally experience in my work. One of the things that I'm finding is when I'm brave enough to put my hand up and saying I'm having a really shit time right now and this is a difficult time and it's hard to navigate this, I find a lot of people putting their hand up with me. So right now I thought I would share what I'm experiencing and hopefully talk to you guys about how to support yourself. Really be brave and be honest and be raw right now to support one another. And there is a huge shift going on, which has meant that I'm in a vulnerable place. There are some days that it's just really hard to talk to anyone. And it's hard to answer phone calls, and I literally can't think to even sometimes make food. One of the things that I'm experiencing is that I've just come back from I went to visit a friend. During COVID, I've, of course, haven't seen many people and didn't go out very much. And I'm starting to venture out now, and I went to visit a friend for the first time, and we went to a cafe, and I found myself being incredibly raw. Now, I'm not scared of getting COVID-19. I'm not worried about that sort of thing because I feel like, it's just part of life. And, where I was, people were wonderful and nice and kind. It wasn't that I was scared of people. It's just that what I'm noticing right now is that I'm feeling so different. And so I wanted to talk about that because one of the things that I'm noticing this year as a community is that there's a lot more sort of togetherness. It's like as a collective, not everyone on the planet, of course, but a lot of us, particularly those that are more connected to our feelings, we're starting to have a similar kind of experience, like a shared experience. And the more that some of us put our hands up and say, look, I'm feeling vulnerable, I'm feeling like it's a little bit tough right now, the more that we're going to support one another. So that's what I want to do. And I want to start doing some videos when creating some video content to show you, what it's like when you have a hard time, when you're not doing okay, but you can be okay in it, that you can find peace in it. Because right now, energetically, we are being asked to, it's almost like shed this skin. And this is just such a hard process to go through, really difficult. The shedding of the skin right now is just so hard. I don't even know what I'm feeling. Today's been really tough. I woke up this morning and was just so upset. I just cried for like hours and just ended up ringing a friend, just bawling down the phone. It's like just letting go. And it's like it's almost like the words have to be voiced, but there isn't any processing to do. It's like more about letting go somehow. Fucking hard though. Really hard. Jeez. Especially when you do spiritual work. Sometimes you have to be in a place where you're so raw and vulnerable, and it's just painful. I feel strong at the same time, and I was feeling like I was a mess or anything, but there was just this thing that was happening. So what I'm noticing at the moment for myself, and it's been going on for about 5 weeks, so it might be happening for some of you, so please speak below and type down and let me know what's happening for you as well, and we can have a chat about it and support each other. But one of the things that's happening for me is it's getting harder to remember things. I'm having to do things in totally new ways. Everything's been flipped on its head, so what I used to do, I can't do it that way anymore. I'm needing to have a lot of time in between doing things. So normally I'm a go person, but now I'm having to be a sleep, rest person, do a little bit of go. I get a lot done in that time, but I'm really having to flip this process. What happens for me when I'm going from one way of being to another is that literally it feels like I'm disorientated. It's almost like being drunk. I don't have the same kind of, feeling of drunk, but the feeling of drunk when you're disorientated, where you're not, the room's not quite the way that it is when you're not drunk, it's sort of spinning. It almost feels like that, because when you're going from one state of being to another state of being, the cells in your body are reforming, the way that you're being in yourself is reforming, and you've really got to be gentle with yourself. It's time to be incredibly kind. Now, what people think kindness is doing things like kind actions, like letting yourself, like quite often people escape kindness with being self-indulgent, like, oh, I'm going to give myself some chocolate, you know. But kindness is more about how to sit in a gentle, soft, loving, kind way. So think about people that are being kind towards you and holding you in a really kind way. That's what we need for ourselves when we are healing. So it's really important right now that you heal yourself. And when I say heal yourself, it's not about going into the painful places. So at the moment, I'm working with quite a few people that have put full-on trauma that they want to deal with, or they've been living life very quite in a hard way and they want to shift it. And what I'm finding is that we're not having to deal with the difficult stuff at all. What's really important is it's time now to learn another way. And me personally, I'm used to doing things hard. I'm used to giving myself a hard time. And not in terms of, I don't have a hard self-speak anymore, but in terms of expecting a lot from myself. That's what I'm used to. And right now, being kind is saying to myself, you will get it done, but right now you need to rest. And it's okay that you're resting and resting and resting and resting. Trust, trust, trust. So the other thing that's happening is that intuition is getting stronger. For those of us that are starting to have this internal conversation and find this inner temple within ourselves where we can just zone and feel that inner story or that inner dialogue, we're starting to find that our intuition is stronger. What happened to me today, now some of you might think, oh yeah, well, we already know you've got strong intuition, but I don't necessarily know that, and I don't always have it for myself. That's the other thing. It's easier to read for other people than yourself. But today I was going to a friend's house, and I was on the phone at the same time, and I'd never been to this friend's house before. I didn't know where to go. I was on this main road and I was on the phone to another friend. So I was like, better pull over and put the coordinates of where I'm going into the phone and have a look and where I need to go. So I pulled over, turned off the engine, put the coordinates into my computer and discovered that it actually stopped on the corner of the main road and the road I was going to. And the thing is, I hadn't seen the name of the road I was going to. I just put it into the GPS because I'd seen it, but I didn't register it because reading for me is really difficult and I have to look at a word and then really work out what that word is. So I hadn't done that, and I didn't register that it was the same. Like I hadn't even seen the street when I'd pulled over. And so I looked and then I was like, oh my God, I'm just around the corner from there. Like it was kind of amazing. But that's happening all the time now. This intuition's getting really strong. Part of the intuition is listening to yourself about being gentle, kind, and loving, okay? Gentle, kind, and loving to yourself while you're going through this transition period is about learning how to just feel this peace zone, how to be really gentle in your energy. Gentleness and kindness in terms of energy, not in terms of action, right? You might want to do actions that are gentle and kind, but you need to do it with the gentle, kind energy for it to actually vibrate and hit you. Now, what I mean by energy is it's the vibration, and vibration is a key part right now. For those of us that are really getting hit around by this new energy that's happening on the planet, so if you're finding yourself being really tired, so what's happening to me? I'm tired, I'm not sleeping very well, I'm waking up wide awake at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. I am finding it really hard to concentrate on things that I need to concentrate on. I am finding it hard to remember appointments. I'm forgetting appointments. I'm not even showing up to appointments, which is actually very unlike me. Even if I forget, I tend to find myself there. But recently, I just haven't even been able to do it. I haven't been able to answer messages. Like, it's just been a time of craziness, really. Total kind of, it's almost like the body's shutting down. So one of my friends said to me today, it's like you're in like a cocoon, and that's exactly what it feels like. So if you're in that place and you're feeling that, understand it's part of what's going on for a lot of us. And your job is to be as kind, loving, and understanding with yourself as you can, right? Gentleness as a way of being and vibration of gentleness, not just, you know, oh, I'm going to be gentle how I'm walking around. It's like, no, be gentle in how you actually touch yourself with a real kind, gentle touch, not just smack on my face, you know. It is a really important time to be very gentle, very kind, very loving, and just really nurture yourself. Part of nurturing is also about the vibration of where you're living. The vibration of where you're living can be changed by plants, it can be changed with music, it can be changed with smells, it can be changed with like smudging, if those of you know smudging, which is like using some sort of smoke to smudge the house. So sage smoke, or some people have little bits of wood that they burn. Some people use things like gum leaves, so it just depends on what you want to use. Incense can do it. So there's and also you can do it just by loving house or loving your environment. And part of what I'm experiencing right now too is that I'm needing to move and change around my place. So if you're feeling a bit kind of move around your bedroom a little bit, bring a plant in there, move around your lounge room a little bit, put a little bit of life into it, maybe light a candle, just do something that really, when you walk past it, you go, oh, I love that. And you'll be bringing in this loving, kind energy into your space. So really, love, guys, love. That's why I put that there, because I was like, this is the time to bring in love in a huge way. And we're not just talking about all aspects of love. The one that's really needed right now is the kind, soft, gentle, beautiful love that's going to wrap up the little baby and look after it and be really tender. So be as tender as you can with yourself right now, and that support one another.